We're going to have two different types of urethral sphincters, internal and external. The internal urethral sphincter is going to be made up of smooth muscle. Because it is made up of smooth muscle, it is going to be under the control of our autonomic nervous system. So it is going to be involuntary. The external urethral sphincter, in contrast, is made up of skeletal muscle. Because it is made up of skeletal muscle, it is going to be under voluntary control. You can think of the internal urethral sphincter as just an extension of the detrusal muscle. Now here's the bladder. Here's the urethra. The internal urethral sphincter is going to be found very close to the bladder in this region. The external urethral sphincter is going to be found away from that, underneath, around that region. Now, one clinical tie-in of the urethral sphincters is going to be in the form of pelvic organ prolapse, more specifically in the form of cystocele. Cystocele is when the bladder is basically going to protrude to the vaginal wall. This is going to result in the weakness of the urethral sphincters. So here's our bladder. It is basically going to protrude posteriorly to the vaginal wall, and this is going to result in weak urethral sphincters. When we have weak urethral sphincters, it is going to result in stress incontinence. Let's write this here, stress incontinence. What is stress incontinence? Stress incontinence is when anytime we have an increase in the pressure of the abdominal cavity, urine is going to leak out. When the bladder is protruding posteriorly to the vaginal wall, it is going to weaken the internal urethral sphincter, meaning that it is not going to be closed appropriately. So anytime there's going to be an increase in pressure, it is not going to be able to keep urine away. As a result, an increase in abdominal pressure in the form of coughing or the Valsalva maneuver is going to result in stress incontinence.